It's crazy. It's crazy, man. But what do we know? What do we know about the shooter, Nicholas Cruz? So when you hear Cruz, you automatically think, this must be some Hispanic, right? But turns out, it's not as what everybody was think it would be. He was a Trump supporter, I guess. And I don't like to blame people, like that. Like, oh, he's a Trump supporter. Of course, he's a school shooter. But you know what I'm saying? If you dressing the part, nigga, you the part.
Yeah, definitely.
It just keeps seeming happening, and that's crazy, man. Because the craziest thing to me about the whole situation, and I know we're gonna get into it more, but the craziest thing to me is you had security there, you had police officers there, you had resource officers there,
right,
and they didn't even go in to protect nobody. He cowered it up at the door and decided not to go in, and as a result of that, you have 17 kids dead.
Well,
it's
look,
crazy, man.
I was tweeting about it, and that, what I'm saying, that the fact that the officer, there was actually 4 officers who did not go in, who were there when the shooting occurred, 4 armed officers or security, whatever you want to call them, and none of them went in. That gets into my point, a whole different point about who a lot of these police officers are. Like, when the badge is on, you could be everything you want, and you take the badge off, you still think, at the end of the day, you still pussy. Like, when the shit get real, you know what I'm saying? You still pussy, and that's really what it comes down to. And I hate to use them kind of terms and stuff, but actually I don't, because niggas is really fucking pussy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just kind of crazy when you think about it, because these people is so quick to, they'll pull a weapon out on a motherfucking civilian. You know what I'm saying? Who's unarmed and not harmless. But, man, I get mad. Think about this shit. Like, just think about it. Talk about this shit. Me mad. But it's just kind of crazy. But the shooter did have an AR-15 bump stocked up. If anybody who doesn't know what bump stock does, it basically turns your weapon into a fully automatic. AR-15 is not fully automatic. It's technically semi-automatic, but bump stock makes it rapid fire, makes it automatic. A bump stock will let you get off 10 shots before a handgun can get off 2. So, it kind of makes sense why they didn't go in, but don't do that job. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't do that job. Like, I work security at clubs before big ass motherfuckers fighting. Oh, I'm not stepping out the way. I like fighting, but that's different. But, if that's the job you're going to choose to do it. And like I said, it comes to the point, like, behind that badge, it's cowards. Like, the badge don't take away the coward. And that's why I got an issue with a lot of people who's police officers. Like, these dudes didn't get no pussy in their early 20s and their late teens. They was losers. Like, they couldn't fight. Like, and they become officers and shit. Where you got power over people. But if you want to protect and serve, like, the coach of the team shielded himself and protected people when he died because he was protecting kids. Like, another student is kind of crazy. Like, it's kind of like another student opened the door so kids could run in and held the door open. And then on the way to close the door, he got shot and killed.
Yeah.
Like, damn, bro. Like, it's really kids with more balls than you in a crazy situation. Like, niggas is not built for them pressure situations. Let me not even say niggas. But people in general are not built for certain situations. You could tell what kind of person, is built for a situation. Like, there are ex-military dudes. If a motherfucker starts spraying shit up, they gonna jump in and air shit out, and they don't give a fuck if they get shot or not. Like, there's people I know who come from different backgrounds, who've never been in the military, never been in police, but if shit pops off, I've seen with my own eyes gunshots and motherfuckers run towards the shit. Like, what's, like, you know what I'm saying? Oh,
and for me, man, it's kind of like echoes what I have been saying, and what a lot of us have been saying as far as law enforcement goes. It's like, this is what we mean when we say we need more qualified officers, not just because they're not doing their jobs out here on the street. You know what I'm saying? They're doing it with bias. They're doing it with racially driven methods and all of that stuff. We need more methods, we need more qualified officers who are not going to be scared in these type of moments. Because even still, it doesn't matter what type of person you think you are until you are put into that position. Like, when it really pops off, no amount of training can really prepare you for a real situation until it pops off. But we need to have a better psychological understanding of who we're giving a badge and a gun to know what type of character that they are, if they're even going to attempt to do something. Because those are kids, and at the end of the day, if you are sending an officer to defend kids, they need to be top notch. They need to be top notch officers because kids are very important. I understand that you want to keep drugs off the street and you want to police up whatever gang members you think you got, or sex trafficking. All of that stuff is very important to the community. I get that. But the number one thing in any community should be kids, should be teenagers, should be elementary school kids like Sandy Hook. All of these kids are getting hurt, and our main priority should be protecting these kids. So when I say we need more qualified officers, we need officers who are willing to lay down their life, not just stand in a room full of other officers, hide behind them and put their hand up and say they're taking this oath when really they're not built like that. And they're not mentally prepared to do anything like that. And there's nothing wrong with not being able to do that.
Nothing wrong.
Just don't have that job, because everybody's not a hero. You don't have to be a hero. This world isn't full of heroes. This country isn't full of heroes. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be that hero. But please don't put on a hero uniform and expect us not to have a problem when you don't fulfill the duties that you're supposed to do when you're in that uniform.
I agree, dog. I don't have too much to say about the situations, like how people froze up, because it's kind of understandable. I do agree with you, though. We do need to have pay attention to who we put in those positions, because those are the people we rely on to keep us safe, and those are the people we're supposed to look to in those situations. My concern is, which is pretty much everybody concerned, and we've yet to be able to come up with a solution, how to stop it from happening. Like, it seems like it's gone from happening like once every 10 years to like once every year. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that was like number 30 for the year, by the way.
Like one
that was.
I'm not like, of course, mass shootings happen like literally like every day. What I'm saying is like to this degree, like, you know what I'm saying, like a Columbine level degree, a Sandy Hook level type degree. Like,
bro, do you know what's really crazy? I don't mean to cut you off. I remember when Columbine was the worst shooting ever.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's becoming more and more common.
We done had 10 top Columbine. Like, I remember growing up, we used to watch videos in school, like Columbine at work. Motherfucker, Virginia Tech happened. Sandy Hook happened. Bernardino happened. The church the dude sprayed the church up. The Vegas motherfucker.
The Virginia Tech.
Now
the movie theaters.
Yeah, like, it done been like Orlando. Yeah, it been like that's 8. Like, that's 8. It's been 8 shit. Like, dog. Like, I'm gonna keep it a being with you though. This is an America problem, bro. Because they don't have this problem in other countries.
They don't have it.
That's what I'm saying.
Niggas is not wetting random shit up. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, here's my thing. Like, and this is why I'm like, yo, if you have an issue, like, nigga, if you hate yourself, you know what I'm saying? Yo, and look, everybody who's depressed, I want you to get help. If you're suicidal, get yourself some help. Don't kill yourself.
Absolutely.
But if you're suicidal and you want to kill other people, do the world a favor. Go in your bathroom, take your shotgun and blow your own noodles out and stay the rest of the lives, because don't, you know what I'm saying? That's whack, bro.
That's what I'm kind of getting into. Like, I feel like you said, it's becoming more common. It's getting less desensitizing. But I feel like in this situation, the system totally failed us. The FBI failed to, stop it. I saw reports that they knew it was going to happen. I don't know if they took it serious.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a fake report. So the FBI failed us. The security guards, the policemen that were there, they failed us. They froze up. And to top it all off, the dude had a legally purchased gun. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the system on every level of aspect failed us. Like, what do we do in this situation? Because usually they would say, oh, well, report it to the FBI, report it to the local police. You do that. Well, security guards are there for the school for that. Well, that's checked. Well, gun control, so we need stricter laws. Well, it was legally purchased. So how do we stop this shit from happening and to keep happening? You feel me?
And you know what else, John? You know what? You're right, because they released a phone recording with the shooter's neighbor. Because she gave them the whole backstory with the parents dying or the mother or father. I can't remember exactly which one it was, but he got an inheritance, $25,000, and he was supposed to get more and more and more. and they were nervous. He started buying guns, and he was killing animals already. He had an Instagram page that he was broadcasting him killing animals or saying he wanted to kill people.
Torturing animals. He was posing with guns and shit.
Like the classic, shooter? Like classic profile type of things. Like, yo, this kid is going to kill somebody, right?
Yeah.
But to echo what Dave is saying, he's right, man. Every time it's like every year, every shooting like one up the last shooting. Like Columbine was the deadliest shooting, and then you move on to Virginia Tech, the highest shooting, and then you move on to Sandy Hook, which to me personally was the worst one, but the worst shooting, and then Orlando, the highest, and then Vegas, the highest. So it keeps getting one up, and you don't know when it's going to stop. And for me, this is why I've said, and this is why I don't think we need to take guns away from everybody, because I feel like everybody should be able to protect themselves.
Right.
But I fully feel like you are an idiot if you feel like you need an assault rifle for the fact that if the government is going to attack your house,
you can stop that
your assault rifle is going to stop that, because they could be sitting in DC and press a button. It don't matter how much arsenal you got. You're going to be gone anyway. So I don't feel like anybody on the civilian side that is not in a war zone needs an assault rifle with the capability of turning it into a semi-automatic weapon. I understand that hunting rifles and 223s is the same bullet and it can be used the same way. But when you are allowed to put these attachments or these adjustments on these weapons to make them semi-automatic, that it shouldn't happen.
And I just want to point out a couple of things, like people they love to try to make this shit like it's a simple fix. Like I was on the timeline one night, like when it happened, and the usual Twitter timeline birds that only good for twit picking pictures and uploading thirst traps. Like Australia has gun control laws. They don't never have mass shootings. Canada never has. Bro, like first off, it's not America. Like Australia's population is nowhere dealing with America on any type level. Is it Australia, Alaska, whatever they try to bring up, bro? Like, it's not the same thing. And second of all, it's not the same. You can't just get rid of the Second Amendment and think you're gonna fix shit, bro. Like, people want to feel safe, and at the same time, we don't want to feel like we've been controlled by the government. We want our laws, we want our own rights. You know what I'm saying? And if you think an AR-15 is needed to protect yourself, that, like Rob was saying, is bogus. If the government want to come in and shut shit down, they can do that. They can drop a bomb. They can do all sorts of things. Snipers, whatever they want to do. They got military tanks. Like, they can just run over your fucking house, bro. Like, it's not a simple fix, is what I'm trying to get at.
Like, Dave, I know you want to jump in real quick, but let me say something real fast.
Go ahead,
John. I feel you. I feel you on that. But my only two problems with that is first of all, people who always scream about, all they want to do is exercise their Second Amendment right. These are the same people who feel a problem when people are exercising their First Amendment right of free speech, or have a problem with the 13th Amendment of equality for everyone. You know what I'm saying? Like, they pick and choose which amendment they want to really exercise.
And that's what I'm saying. Like,
we don't get rid of
it because of that.
Right. Also, I feel like when we made the Second Amendment, people were out here with muskets and bayonets. You know what I'm saying?
They wanted 3 minutes to reload after one shot.
You know what I'm saying? They wanted to take up arms with muskets and got not no AR-15s that had the capability of mowing down 30 people in a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so I feel like if our forefathers were here now and could see, or their forefathers were here now and could see that, they wouldn't be like, nah. I feel like everybody should have this, because you shouldn't. There's certain things that not everybody can have. That's why there are like certain top secret information that not everybody's allowed to be a part of or have. It's because it's for the greater good, right?
Yeah.
So not everybody should be allowed to have certain weapons because it's for the greater good. And it just doesn't mean just because you don't have a criminal record doesn't mean you're not a criminal. Just because you don't have a history of being crazy doesn't mean you're not crazy.
Yeah.
You're just not on paper as being crazy.
You're just not known for being crazy.
And I feel like we probably said this when the Vegas shooting happened, but we definitely need more strict ways to get certified to carry a gun or get a license. And also, I feel like the problem, like Dave was kind of jumping on it earlier within the conversation, mental health, I feel like that plays a big part of all this shit, bro. I feel like, I don't know how we can fix it, but I don't get paid to find out how to fix it. They have people in position
Right.
to figure
Good
that
point.
out. There has to be some kind of, I don't know if you do it in school,